Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. I am a counselor in training, and today we're going to do a mock counseling session. Everything that you say will be confidential unless, of course, you say that you plan on hurting yourself or someone else.
Okay.
And this session will be recorded, okay?
Okay.
So if all that is okay with you, if you don't mind signing this informed consent form that basically goes over everything that we talked about.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay, so I want to start off by letting you get to know me a little bit and then getting to know you as well, just so we can kind of build a little bit of a relationship, you know?
Yeah.
So I am Brianna Jacobs. I am 24 years old. I am currently studying clinical mental health counseling at Park-Atlanta University in Atlanta, Georgia. And mental health is just my passion. I got my Bachelor of Arts in Psychology from North Carolina A&T State University. That was in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I'm kind of a Carolina girl. I was born and raised in Fort, South Carolina. I lived in Charleston, South Carolina for a while, and I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. Lived there for a while, and then I did my undergrad in Greensboro. So Carolina has been kind of where I grew up and where I was raised. And yeah, I hope to one day just become a counselor and help people achieve their goals and reach their personal level of self-actualization and just be of an assistant to a diverse group of people, especially as it goes as far as mental health. So that's kind of my goals and just a little bit about me, where I'm from, and my passions. And with that being said, if you don't mind sharing a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, my name is Travis Burgess Jr. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina as well. Born and raised there, but a lot of my family came from a small town called Bay City, South Carolina.
Okay.
That's where they were originated from. So I get a lot of root from the South Carolinas, but I could definitely see myself a Carolina dude as well.
Okay.
I have my degree in IT. That's where my career is currently focusing. I basically deal with a lot of data and analytics and stuff of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
I got my degree while I was living in North Carolina, but I just recently moved to Atlanta, Georgia now because I feel like with the IT field is it's better than Atlanta, you know. I feel like Charlotte wasn't too bad, but Atlanta just is where it's at right now, especially for our IT field. So I've been liking it so far. Can't really complain. But also I would say my passion is technology, basketball, and family. You know, I grew up playing basketball, family. Always something that been near and dear to my heart. You know, I feel like anytime I have any hardships, that's who I lean on, my family, you know. Those are my best friends, that's my whole heart, that's my everything. So, but yeah, that's really just myself. IT guy who just moved down to Atlanta, who loves his family. So, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, and thank you for sharing that with me.
No problem.
So I do want to address the fact that we are from a similar background.
Yes.
And we are about the same age.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that does kind of give the idea that we are very alike. And even though we may have some similarities, I do want to ensure that I'm not making any assumptions or just making it seem like I 100% know what you're saying just because we're from the same background. So at times I may ask some questions that may seem a little bit self-explanatory as far as getting you to elaborate on some of the things you may say, and that is just so that I can make sure that I'm not assuming that just because we have a similar background that I 100% just understand what you're saying without ever really taking the time to dive into it.
That makes sense.
Okay? So now that we've kind of gotten to know each other a little bit, I do want to just inform you about just therapy itself and kind of what you can expect from our session. So as you know, our session is timed. We will have 30 minutes to talk today. And so with that being said, we may not 100% get to solutions or just 100% solving the problem, but what we can expect today is to at least establish what the problem is and what's going on, and hopefully at least discuss your goals and talk about where you want to go.
Okay.
And then over the next few sessions, we can probably explore some different routes we can take to get you to those goals,
Yes.
and as well as really maybe even dive into some of the root causes of the problems that we're having.
Okay.
But at least for today, we can expect to go over exactly what is going on, and then hopefully at least explore some of the goals you want to get to in regards to those issues. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Makes sense.
So now that we've kind of established what we can expect, and as
Mhm.
well as kind of know each other, if you don't mind just telling me how you're feeling and what's been going on lately.
So, I guess I'll start with basically my move here. I just got in a new place. I like it so far. I can't complain so far with just the area. You know, Atlanta is very more up to beat in Charlotte. The traffic is definitely something to get used to. I'm getting used to the cold weather. You know, it's getting kind of that time of the year. So, I'm not really a big fan of cold weather because my allergies and stuff. But I can't complain about that. Job wise, I feel like a job is a job, you know. I like it so far, you know, meeting new people, IT. As long as I just get my data and my stuff, I feel like I'll be fine with that. So
Yeah.
that's pretty smooth. I'm not really stressed about that. I feel like what brought me in today, just to be quite frank, is my relationship with my mom is starting to feel different. When I talk to her, we just have not been seeing eye to eye with conversations. Like, we just have not been clicking like we used to. So it's definitely kind of taking a toll on me because I personally, my mother judgment and her, basically not her judgment, my mother input is something that's very important to me. You know, I always just went to her through anything because she's been my number one supporter through life. So with that being said, when me and her are not good, it really just, I don't know, shakes me up. And so with me and her not seeing eye to eye on daily conversations, it's hindering me because during my hard days, I go to my mom. And so when I can't go to her, then I don't know who to go to. I feel lost.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, I'm so sorry to hear that, and I can understand why that would be so troubling. So when you say that you guys are not seeing eye to eye,
Yes.
what do you mean by that? Can you help me understand a little bit more of what you mean by not seeing eye to eye?
Yes. So when I say eye to eye, basically, when I come to her for like just check-ins, like, okay, telling her about my day, something new I saw about Atlanta, or just something I'm encountering, she's more disengaged than I expect her to be, or that she usually is, you know? Like, usually she's more inquisitive, she's just more excited for me about things, more enlightened about hearing things about what I have going on, and it kind of creates a positive effect for me on the outlook of my life, you know. And so when she's not like that with me, it's just him. It's very loud, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, just when me and her not seeing eye to eye, it's just like conversations is very much just short and disengaged, and we just not have that same energy like mother and son who had a relationship usually have, you know.
Gotcha.
So when I say eye to eye, just mean basically I'm going to a conversation with expecting something to possibly come out. I'm receiving something totally opposite. So it's just definitely been hindering, you know. So and very, very kind of made me feel lonely at times. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Are there any other feelings that you can attach to kind of that experience? I know you said lonely.
Yeah. Lonely, number one. Somber, lost, you know, especially in this new city, because I feel like, also like, I don't know what feeling to say, but basically the feeling that comes when you feel like you lost home. Because like my mom, it wasn't like Charlotte was home, it was more like my mom was home, you know?
Mhm.
And so when she's not mom to me, it's like I don't know where I'm supposed to be at or how to function. So that's exactly how I feel.
I definitely understand that. So it sounds like your mother's support is something that's very important to you. Is
Yes,
that true?
definitely. My mom always been the number one thing I always had, you know. She always just been there through all my games, all my A's, all my graduations and degrees. She's been there to be the number one supporter.
Mhm.
She's always the one to take the pictures and to be in the picture, you know? So it's like, she's the one to show me off on her Facebook, you know, like, not saying that's something I needed, but it's just like something you notice as a kid, like, wow, like, your mom, you know who's there, who's not there, and
Mhm.
my mom, she definitely was there to always be the one to pat me on my back and to pick me up when I'm down too, you know, like, she
Yeah.
wasn't just there when I'm at the highest, when I'm at my lowest low, I know that my mom would be right there to pick me right back up and say, this is where you should be at, and put me back on that pedestal that she always saw me to be at, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's really where that's at, you know?
And so, how long has this been going on? How long have you noticed this change with your mom?
Honestly, ever since I moved.
Mhm.
Once I moved away here to Atlanta, I noticed this sense of disengagement from her, you know? And she definitely just did not seem like that number one fan or that support system that I was used to.
Yeah.
Usually when I'm telling her now when I'm telling her my downfalls and my hardships, she's no longer picking me up. She's no longer like even really engaged. Like
Mhm.
the best word I could say is just more like disengagement. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Ever since I moved to Atlanta is basically when that had started.
Gotcha. Okay. And so, could you think of any reasons or any type of information you can draw on as to what may be the cause of why your move could have been where things have changed? Like, do you have any sort of insight as to what about you moving could be so troubling for your mom? Because it seems like you said, when you moved, that's when everything changed, right?
Yes, you're right about that. That's exactly when everything changed. And thinking about it now, when you mentioned that, she did not want me to move, honestly. Like, when I was back living in Charlotte, she made a lot of gestures and jokes pointing me not to move. And honestly, flat out several times when I got close to moving, don't move, you know?
Mhm.
Like, I did not have to move.
Yeah.
And so, I realize now that she did not want me to move. Like, she just did not want me to move. And I don't know, but I feel like this is also starting to come because she probably wanted me to stay and not move to another city, in another, not just city, but a bigger city at that too as well.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so you think that your mom did not want you to move, and she did come out a couple times and
yes,
say
she did,
not to move.
exactly, yes.
Mm.
She did.
Okay, and so when that would occur, or when that would happen, what would be kind of your response, or what was kind of,
I would kind of like, I would just tell her like, you know, I had to move and stuff like that. But I would tell her that basically I have to move because I have to like become my own self, you know.
Mhm.
And I feel like me and my mom been so close together since basically my parents, right? They weren't together when I was younger. Like they split when I was younger, you know.
Yeah.
And so I started on to go see my dad's on weekends, my mom on weekdays, and then the weekends started to come slower and slower, you know.
Yeah.
And so my mom, we started becoming much closer during that time. Like by the time I was in my teenage years, like me and my mom was basically like so close, like basically right on the legs, you know? So
Right.
it was just like our bond strengthened so much. I think that kind of maybe hurt her that I moved far away from her like this, you know? Like she would suggest to me staying in Carolina and just like, hey, like there's an IT job in this area that's not so far away, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm realizing now, talking about this, that we've always been so close until now, you know?
Yeah.
And so, with that being said, with me moving, I could thinking now, like, that might have just kind of been part of the reason why this is happening, you know?
Yeah.
Because we always been so close. She never missed a game for me. She never missed no type of school events for me. We always lived together, you know. We never been apart, so it's just I could definitely see me moving might cause an effect for her too as well.
Okay. And so, do you have any other siblings, if you don't mind me asking?
Actually, I'm the only child.
You're the only child.
Yes, I do have some cousins, but when it comes to siblings, I was, you know, the miracle baby, so she definitely held me near and dear.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. So you being an only child, and like you said, you being a miracle baby, what do you mean by that? Miracle baby.
So basically, I had some chances of, you know, coming into the world, and so basically, there's just a lot of like health issues and stuff that she was able to get through to me come here and stuff, and so she just really, once I was here, attached onto me, and she always said that all the time, like how I'm just always be her baby, okay, I'll never really close her eyes because she's always like seeing me as this tiny little me, you know, so
Right.
I feel like it might be hard for her to see me growing, and I want her to know I'm not leaving, I'm just growing.
Right.
That's all. I'll be her son, I'll be her baby, you know, so.
Right.
Excuse me, sorry.
No, are you okay? I will say that it is amazing that some of the things that your mom's fulfilled, and I appreciate you sharing that with me. I know that is very delicate. And it seems like you're saying that with you being an only child and with just the miracle that it took for you to even be her only child, gave her a really big reason to kind of attach to you and be very close with you.
Definitely.
On top of your father and her separating when you were very young, and now that you left, it seems like there's now empty nester. And
very much so. That's actually a good term to use. I not think about my mom as a empty nester until now because she did. I'm the only child, so she is probably kind of lonely now that I'm not there because I would come after work to make sure she was fine, or we would just have our shows on certain days to watch, or I would just, you know, be there just to like keep her company.
yeah.
Because she'll keep me company, you know. So now that I left, and she's the only influencer. My dad's, you know, they're not together, so it's like usually when they use that term influencer, I think of like a unit of two parents being there. So I have to be considered my mom influencer until you highlight that basically she really is an influencer and really alone on them. So put my eyes in her shoes. I can see where this is stemming from.
Yeah, but I do want to highlight that is a strength of yours to be able to kind of analyze, you know, the whole situation and then step into your mother's shoes and really try to understand, you know, where she's coming from.
Yes.
And try to just grasp and analyze why she may be having this feeling. So I do want to say that you should give yourself props for, you know, even having that level of empathy and kind of understanding for your mom, because that is very powerful, and I do think that it's going to be something that will help us kind of get to where we want to be. And so with that, I do kind of want to segue and ask you, what do your goals here look like? And if we could fix this situation and get you to where you want to be with your mom, help me understand what that looks like for you.
My overall goal is to help my mom realize like that I am not leaving her, or
Yeah.
that even though we have distance, does not change our relationships, or change how our relationship is, or how we are with each other. Like I'm still gonna be there for her no matter what. I'm gonna go see her any free time that I do have,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, another goal that I do have is I want our conversations to go back to how they were. My goal is to basically go back to, I want to get my mom back. I want to be able to basically have that conversation on the phone where I can talk to her about my hardships
Yeah.
and get that support that I always have from her.
Right.
Or talk about good times and what good things I'm going through, and still get those good feedback that I always got for her, because she it's not, this is new to me. She always been there for me, but I always been right next to her distance wise. So
Yeah.
I guess it's new to her for me being as far away as well. So this is new environment for both of us, but I don't want this new environment. My goal is for, even though we're in a new environment physically, I don't want that. I want our relationship to still be solid mentally and just go ahead and, you know.
Right.
So, yeah, my goal. Sorry to piss him over one your time
Okay.
is basically to reassure her that I'm always be her son.
Yeah.
I will never not be her son, loving and supporting her in all types of ways.
Right.
And then the second goal is to basically get those conversations back that I need, those daily conversations of support and love that she always provides for me, because that's something that I all needed through life, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just one or two goals right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are just wanting to get your mom to understand that just because you moved to another city doesn't mean that you guys still can't be close, and that you're not going to be there for her, and that you still are her son, and you guys can still have that very loving relationship that you once had. But you know, you did want to move to a new city, and that's something that it fulfills you, and it was your dream, and so you're just looking for her support.
Definitely. Because
Okay.
I feel like without her support, then I don't feel like I'm doing the right thing, you know? Like, I just can't, that's my mom, you know? I feel like we had such a close bond all my life. I can't just start living life without her now.
Yeah,
You know?
I get that.
She's been my warrior, my supporter, and my number one friend. So, especially coming to a city Atlanta where I'm creating new friends, and I don't have nobody that I've known all my life.
Yeah.
Having that root, having that basically key back to home with the conversation with my mom, it helped me stay grounded where I need to be. And I don't ever want to lose my sense of self. And every time I get to go to my mom, I get that sense of that. I know that that's who I am, is the person I always talk to my mom to be about.
I hear you saying root and key back to home and sense of self. So it seems that your mom really provides that.
For sure. Because she let me discover who I was when I was young. She let me, I don't know, she was just a great mother. Like, she never not let me be who I am.
Yeah.
And so every time I go back to her or I talk to her, I'm able to be myself. So like in this world, some places like at work, I have my professional self, or my playing sports, or while I used to play sports, I have to be the basketball version of me. But with my mom, I'm just her son, the person that I came to the world to be.
Yeah.
So through hardships and through just good times too as well, so I can stay grounded. My mom always just helped me stay at a new level. And now that I'm in a new world, I feel like I need that more than ever now. You know, so.
I totally understand that. So I do know that we are running out of time, but I do want to make sure that, at least for the sake of what we talked about today, I want to make sure that I get a full picture of it and I completely understand just what the issue is and where we want to go. Okay? So we talked about how you always had such a loving, strong, and supportive relationship with your mom. And just until recently that you've moved, that has changed.
Yes.
And we believe that the root cause of that is because with you being an only child, as well as kind of your birth and you coming into this world being a miracle for your mother, and also in the wake of your mother and father separation, that kind of leaves her at an interesting place where you be someone that was so very close to her with all of that, it's kind of an adjustment for her. And now she is an empty nester, and she also even expressed to you that she didn't want you to make the move that you made. And so we're thinking that all that's coming from maybe the fear of just being alone and that adjustment to being an empty nester, and just kind of her not being able to accept that you guys were always so close and now you have made that move.
Yes.
And so our goal here is to get mom to accept that we have moved to another city and we have fulfilled our dream of that, but we want her support with that.
Yeah.
And we want her to accept that even though you have moved, that your relationship can still be as strong, and that you are going to come see her, and that you guys can still have that sort of connection that you've always had, because it's something that's very important to you, and you've always had your mother's support. And so now that you've moved to this new city, her support means that much more than ever. It's that much more important now.
Yes.
So, okay, so does that sound kind of like a general?
It definitely, that was a great synopsis of what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
basically, this is my mom. Like I said, she's my rock, and so I just wanted her to know that she will always still be my rock. And I feel like with her being disengaged with like what I have going on now and the conversations that we've been having, I feel like that's just basically her trying to protect herself from the distance that's been caused physically. Me moving. But I just want her to know that, hey, like, I'm still here for you. I need you to be here for me, because I'm not going nowhere regardless. And I really just hope and really yearn that with this journey through counseling, I'll be able to see the silver lining of how to move through this, because I really want my mom to be. I just want her to be comforted to know that hey, I'm going to be here for you. I'm still your son. I'm still your son, and nothing's going to change because I move. You know, like the location of Charlotte, North Carolina is not the home. The location of you is the home.
Right.
You know, not the location the location of connection is the home.
Yeah.
So I feel like definitely your run through is basically what's going on to a team. And
Okay.
I agree.
And kind of what the issue also is that we've tried to reassure her that we're not leaving her behind, or you're not leaving her behind, but that we've still been met with that pushback, and that reassurance is not really working to the effect that we're trying to get.
No, not to the effect where I need it to be. I'm reiterating, hey, I love you, Mom, and I'm sorry that I moved, but something I had to do. But I still am going to call you every day and be where you at in my free time as well. But I just hasn't clicked for her yet. You know, it's still, she's still hurting. She's still not. She still is disengaged. So.
Okay. Well, the good thing is that we know what the problem is, and we know where we want to go.
Yes.
And we also have really highlighted that you are so empathetic about your mom, and you're able to step into her shoes. And I think that is going to be key in getting us where we want to go, as far as getting your mother's acceptance and being able to rebuild that relationship with you guys. And so for next time, I think that we will try to explore some possible avenues and techniques that we can use as far as really getting your mom to understand what we need her to understand.
That'd be great.
And I think in the meantime, until our next session, what really could be helpful is next time when you talk to your mom, I think that it would be important for you to observe and kind of document the pushback that you are experiencing. So when you try to reassure her, and when you try to talk to her, and you're kind of being met with that negative energy and, you know, that lack of acceptance, really know what that looks like, and how you know that it is a lack of acceptance. So I want you to know what her tone is. I want you to know what language she uses. I want you to know just anything that you feel like stands out to you.
Definitely.
As far as that pushback, okay? I also want you to know and be aware of your own language and kind of try to observe and document that as well, and try to really look at what are you saying to your mom when you're trying to reassure her. What are those words? What is your tone? What is the energy that you're giving her? I think that you should also journal and document that as well, so that way we can analyze kind of where mom is and, you know, what that actually looks like, and then also how we're going about it in our current technique, and see if there are places that we could possibly work on changing that. Because it seems like, you know, in this whole therapy thing, we're going to work together to try to adjust what we can. So, you know, we can't wave a magic wand and make your mom wake up one day and just accept it. But what we can do is work on kind of our avenues towards that acceptance. So I think it'll be beneficial, yes, for you to observe and document kind of what those conversations look like. And then next time we're gonna go over those things and then see if we can work out possible techniques and maybe even get to some possible solutions to this issue, okay? Does that sound good?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay, is there anything else that you want to share with me, or any questions that you may have?
Not at the moment, no. I actually appreciate it. I feel like it's gonna help.
Really?
Yes.
Good, good. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.